welcome to this week's OBC. Welcome. So last week I said we were going to be discussing on a woman today, and I'm going to be sharing my opinion on her character. So let me just go straight to the point. We're going to be talking about the Samaritan woman. And just to give a background story about this woman, we found out about her in John chapter 4. I think try John chapter 5, especially from verse 1 to around 48 or so. So, background story, this woman had been married 4 times. Yes, 4 times. In fact, the man she was currently living with at that particular point in time was not her husband. I don't know how we're going to describe the situation. Maybe they were dating or they knew each other, or it was a situationship. But the Bible recorded that they were not married. So this is her background. And this woman is a Samaritan woman. At that point in time, she was living in Sychem near Sychem. Sychem was a city near Sychem. And the Bible did not specifically give us her name. So should we create a name for her? Let's call her Sychem. Sychem and Sychem. So Sychem was going to the well to fetch water, and she got to the well about fetching water. And then she met this gentleman. And the man was looking calm, kept, and dignified and all. And the man was like, "Give me water. Please give me water to drink." And she was like, "Sir, excuse me, you are a Jewish person. I am Samaritan. And Jews and Samaritans don't talk. They don't relate with each other. So why should I give you water to drink? Why would you even ask me to give you water to drink?" So the man, being calm and relaxed and all, was like, "If you know who I am, you would even ask me to give you living water." I'm sure at that point in time she should have been thinking, this man does not even have bowl or fetcher to fetch water from this well, and he's telling me that you give me water. Not even just water, living water. Talking back and forth with him. And he even got to the point that Jesus was like, "Go and bring your husband." And then she was like, "I don't have any husband though." And this man, I already mentioned, Jesus, was like, in fact, I know that you have been married 4 times, and the man that you're currently living with is not even your husband. She was like, this man must be a prophet. How did you know all these things? And then she was like, yes, that's true. How did you know? And they started talking about, worshiping, not worshiping. Some were like, they're supposed to worship in Jerusalem. Some were like, they're not supposed to worship in Jerusalem. And Jesus was enlightening and telling that a point will come that people will worship Jesus and worship God in spirit. Who that worship him will worship in spirit and in truth. So they were still, talking back and forth. Jesus was giving her some things, enlightening her, telling her who he was. And then she got to a point, she was like, I know that the word of God made us to understand that at a point in time the Messiah will come and he'll make us understand all things. And then Jesus was like, it is the Messiah, you are looking at. And she was like, So around that period, his disciples already came back and they were already asking Jesus, why are you talking to this woman? And all that. While they were still talking, this woman already went around saying, everybody come and see, Samaritans living in Sychem, come and see this man that I met. He was telling me everything. They said the Messiah is coming. Could he truly be the Messiah? And then she was calling people. She became an instant evangelist on the spot. Went around calling people, telling them to come to, this man that just ministered to her. And then people started coming out to come and listen to what she had to say. Her voice was loud. She was calling people, and she called. In fact, Jesus had to remain in that city for that day. And she became an instant evangelist on the spot. And then people gave their life to Christ, accepted Jesus, started following him and all that. So that was like the basic story. Now, what's my opinion about this particular woman? Number 1 is that, okay, it's true that this woman has a past, but this woman was still moving with dignity, was still, moving with that pride of her individuality, who she was, what she believes in. In fact, when Jesus was telling her some things, she was even confident enough to tell him that she knows that the Messiah is indeed coming. So she was strong in her faith. She knew what she wanted in terms of her belief and her faith. Another thing I like about this woman, my second opinion about her, is that she was humble enough, she was teachable, she was willing to listen. The fact that the Jews and the Samaritans were not relating, were not communicating at that point in time, did not stop her from listening to someone who had something to say, who had something to offer. So that's my second opinion about this woman. She was very teachable and she was humble enough to listen. And my third opinion about this woman is the fact that she became an instant evangelist. I mean, this woman, without Jesus did not even tell her, go and help me and tell others. She just started, calling people. She did not hoard information. She did not, she felt like what she had heard at that particular point in time was too good to keep. Imagine that I made the Messiah out now. It was too good at that particular point in time to keep to herself. She had to go out to call people. I really, just love that so much. I liked that about this particular woman. The fact that I still say over and over again, she became an instant evangelist. Evangelism is not a small work. It's not an easy thing to do. You have to be loud. You have to project. You have to believe what you are telling the people to come and believe. So this woman really shared salvation, called people to Christ, and people were indeed saved. So a big respect to her. So I think that's basically all for this week. I just wanted to share my opinion on this amazing woman. And for next week, we're going to be starting a series. And by next week, I'm going to be letting us know what the series is about. I've cooked up something interesting. So it's going to be a whole series for next month in particular. So thank you for listening with me to the end of today's LBC. You can share your opinion in the comment section, what you think about this particular woman. Don't forget her name, Sychem, from Sychem and Sychem. Alright, that'll be all. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.